Just gotta find my mantra.
What it is, y'all? What it is?
Mhm.
What the
Yeah,
deal?
yeah. I can just find
Deal
this.
here. Another Saturday afternoon with
Hmm.
those Soul Cycle Alchemy brothers.
Yep, here
Yeah,
we are
man.
again.
Yeah, yeah.
We're back. Well,
But
I'm looking
I
for
watched.
a.
I went to go see, Forever. That shit was
Hmm?
riddled with symbolism, man. Y'all gotta go see it.
What?
Wakanda
Uh,
Forever, riddled with symbolism.
oh, Wakanda Forever. Yeah, you was telling us about that.
You said what?
I say, yeah, you brought that up last week.
Nah, because it just came out this week, so I couldn't have brought it up last week.
No, you remember you told me they flooded them out.
Huh?
Didn't you say they
Oh,
got
you we
flooded?
was talking about the preview.
Oh, the previews. Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, what that? Yeah, well, damn. Wow.
Time flies, huh?
Time is flying like a motherfucker. God damn. Because I thought that was this week. Actually. Yeah, that was last week. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Hmm.
You're right. I
Yep.
know. But yeah, yeah, it was so many symbolic. It's like I really just gotta really do like if I do a breakdown of this shit, man. If I have a chance, I'll be so busy that I don't be having
Hmm.
a chance to do like I want to break all the symbolism down in that movie, man. They went in like
Yeah,
crazy.
I bet they are. And then the next one coming out is Avatar, and that's something with water too. The new Avatar movie.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna have a water war in that movie. Oh,
Right.
I sent you the video. One Punch against Goku.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was some bad shit. These motherfuckers, man, they took it to a level so high until they fractured the space-time continuum. They opened up portals in the space-time continuums, and now all these evil creatures started oozing into this reality because they their fight was so the shockwaves was so incredible until it just opened up portals.
Damn.
And
Yeah, I
they,
love both of those shows too. I like
yeah.
both of those shows, so the fusion got to be dope. I already know the fusion gonna be dope.
Hmm. Yeah.
Also, what I've been watching though is the new Titan movies or the Titan show.
Oh, the
It's the
Titan.
new Titans.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Titans
Oh, that
and
DC
one.
comic.
Yeah, DC. Yeah, DC. Hey, see,
Uh huh.
people sleep on DC because Marvel has been more popular recently and shit, but DC coming with it too. They coming
Oh,
with it. I
DC.
mean,
Yeah, they coming with it. Yeah, they got some
mm,
crazy shit on there. Yeah, but the Titans isn't that supposed to be like Raven and Robin and
yep,
like
right.
from the?
Speak. Look. See, that's the spirit. What you just did. That was the spirit because I was just about to speak about Raven.
Oh, okay.
And oh my God, this is crazy because her powers is what we be talking about on this show. Her power is the same power that we be talking about in this show, right?
Uh huh.
She's an empath, right? She's an empath, and basically her power is she has direct access to her soul, to her soul power. And guess
Oh,
what? When she uses this shit, This shit is
Mm-hmm.
like a black dark substance that comes out of her. It's a
Mm-hmm.
black dark substance that comes out of her, right?
Mm.
Like they're telling us right in front of our face that that darkness inside of us is what's
Yeah.
can is because they also call her the destroyer of the world too. Wow.
Mm.
They call her the
Yeah.
destroyer of the world.
Yeah, I know there's something about Raven, man. Yeah, that's our shit. Well, let me get the mantra out of the way.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible life from which comes the absolute all. All that was, all that is, and all that is being to become realized into physical realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. It's now being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now. Being and becoming the great primordial dragon god sign Kundalini flame now whirling and ascending up our spine from our root chakra to our central heart chakra and on up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amunel Dragra, our hidden priestly grandmaster magi, dragon god, sun, king, and queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon god, sun, kings, and queens, in all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, willing all of the forces, all the elements, all of the essences, and all of the dark matter within the absolute all, and to being and becoming all of our wills servants, serving all of our wills, objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into physical realization, actualization of form, as we are now willing commanded to be, now being and becoming an active force of unstoppable energy that we all need now to help us overcome all of the obstacles, adversities, and problems in our life, completely dissolving all of my worries, lacks, and fears into nothingness, now manifesting into my life as all of the substance that I need to will and command my life into the proper order, law, and law that I will and command and desire it to be, as I affirm the positive abundance of the absolute all, as an eachness of oneness in the absolute all, manifesting into my reality in life as divine love, perfect health, and vitality, the abundance of prosperity in the absolute all, enriching in my life and the lives of everyone around me, while protecting me from the evil of human thoughts and evil deeds against me and my family, neutralizing all of my enemies, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and destruction upon the evil, soulless, counterfeit spirits, the ignorant, walking dead, automatons, and their Lord and God, the demiurge, and its archonic forces enslaving and feeding off of the energy of the divine spark, the Kundalini race, and all of the entities and deities aligned with Yaldabaoth, who slayed our souls before creation, trapping them all in this prison, this physical realm of physical matter to be reborn, live, suffer, and die over and over again and again for centuries and millenniums until now, because now's the time of our rise as we all ascend to conscious unity, as now's the time of their fall, as all our war, judgment, death, and destruction is upon them all, as we all now willing commanded to be. Through the power, force, and might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible life from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being to become realized into physical realization, actualization, and form, as we all now will and commanded to be. Abracadabra, ashe. Libation time.
Right, right, right. Go ahead.
Okay.
I say, I say.
Okay. Ain, the
Push
nothingness.
Como,
Ashe. Ain
the
Saw,
darkness and chaos gods, Ashe.
the triple darkness of space. Ashe. Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days, the the primordial Christ. Ashe. Arik Yampin, the
The
hidden
angelic,
face. Ashe.
the angelic realm, Ashe.
The Enochian deities. Ashe. Atzilith, the supernal universe, manifesting as holy divine names. Ashe. The cosmic Christ. Ashe. The great abyss of Gnosis. Ashe. The crown of Zerampin. Ashe.
Ashe.
The indwelling Christ. Ashe.
Ashe.
Berea. Berea forming creation, manifesting as the archangels. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yetzirah, formation, manifesting as the orders of angels. Ashe. Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, manifesting as our holy divine, infinite, magical, earthly kingdom. Ashe. Yeshida,
Tiamat,
the holy
Ashe.
divine spark. Yeshida, the holy divine spark, manifesting as our holy divine will. Ashe. Heya, the holy divine life force, manifesting as our holy divine desire. Ashe. Neshama, our holy divine heavenly soul, manifesting as our holy divine heavenly thoughts. Ashe. Ruach, our holy divine soul, manifesting as our holy divine infinite magical word spoken through us. Ashe. Nephish, our holy divine earthly soul, manifesting into physical realization, actualization, and form as we will and command it to be. Ashe.
Order out of chaos beings, Ashe.
The Necronomicons. Ashe. The Palomiome spirits. Ashe. The Voodoo spirits. Ashe. The Yoruba spirits. Ashe. The Orishas. Ashe.
The Naga, Ashe.
Malkut. Ashe. The kingdom.
The Nomos God, Ashe.
Anubis. Ashe. Eru. Ashe. Hanuman.
Setmek,
Ashe.
Ashe. Setmek, Ashe.
Kingu.
Kali,
Ashe.
Kali, Kali, Ashe.
And to all gods and goddesses known and unknown. Ashe.
Right. Okay, look. Look, let me break down Raven's power right now. Look.
Yeah.
She's a Camian daughter of a demon father, Tripgon. His name is Trigon, and human mother, Ariella. Raven is a powerful empath who can sense emotions and control her soul self. Her
Mm,
soul self, which can fight physical, which can fight physical as well as act as Raven's eyes and ears around away from the physical body. More recently, she has been depicted as being adept with various types of magic and sorcery. She is prominent member of the superhero Titans, Teen Titans, right?
Teen
So
Titans. Yep.
basically, she's an expression of functionalities of our applications or functionalities of our melanin and our dark energy and how it can be effective. Like they're taking aspects of what our energy, how we can function, and how can be applied within us. They're making
Hmm.
caricatures out of it, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what they're doing. That's what they're doing. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because she's
They,
representative of how the melanin and the dark energy within us, it literally functions, right?
hmm.
Because she's an imprint, right? Right? An empath is just someone who basically can read emotions, and they like an empath. Okay, say empathy is the capability of understanding or feel what another person is experienced within the frame of reference, right? So we do that all
Hmm.
the time. You know how when we say you feel, you know how you say when we say you feel me, that's
Yeah.
that's empathic right there in nature,
Hmm.
because we don't have to say much for you to catch the vibe. That's the empath,
Yeah.
right?
Shoot, we can give each other a
So,
certain look and
right. So, and then it says she has control over her soul self, right? And soul self, they're depicting the soul as the astral body,
hmm.
which, which is nowhere near the
No,
extent of what the soul is. No, they said the
that's
astral
below.
body is a symbolic. The astral body is the subtle body, posted by many philosophers in intermediate between the intelligent soul and the mental body, comprised of the subtle material, right? Subtle material, right? So this is how they can
Yeah.
describe it, because we have to understand that Western mindset
Yeah.
is inherently materialistic and superficial in nature. They have no sense of the inner intuitiveness of themselves and of the environment around them. They don't pick up on shit like that. So when you looking at when you the whole if you notice that Western education, right, it's
Hmm.
politically motivated. It's politically
Hmm.
motivated.
Hmm.
It's all political. It's all politics. It's not the truth. It's a
Hmm.
political provision. It's a political provisionary truth that they've given us.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever paradigm they're trying to pimp, that's what they're going to put in the education system.
But that not only applies to history, that applies to science. That applies to medical science and biology, and all of the different sciences and disciplines are based in that politics, because
Well, there.
there is in the Western world, there is really no genuine science going on there, because all politically motivated.
Hmm.
People are trying to get these grant money. Scientists, real scientists, that's a hustle for them. So
Hmm.
it's a hustle for them to come up with breakthroughs and come up with discoveries and stuff. It's a hustle, bro. So just like how they recently came out and said that it's suspected and alleged that the whole dinosaur phenomenon was a scheme in itself too. Not that I'm dismissing that there was certain dinosaurs, but they're saying that this was a scheme by the scientific community to build make the museum industry more viable. So they had to
Hmm.
create something to make the museum industry more viable, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, it's Islam, Mo. Islam. The brother Yazil is on. So peace to that brother.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Oh, okay. There we
right.
go. Peace. You
So
missed the
yeah,
munch.
right. But yeah, going back to what I was saying though, like the science that's being presented to us is skewered by political motivations and the fact that we're dealing with someone who's innately a colonizer,
A control freak.
a control fucking freak. Period. That right there breaks it down immediately. That motherfucker's a control freak. The whole Western world is based on that control grid that they have on science,
Insecure
that they have on
control
history,
freak.
that they have on everything. It's about that control grid. It's about maintaining that control grid.
Mm-hmm. And it's insecure as fuck.
I mean, once you can understand how this shit is flimsy. The construct is very flimsy. It's like a house of cards, bro.
Yeah.
It's a house of fucking cards. So all you gotta do is remove one card and the whole shit falls apart. That's why they so offended by any amount of truth coming out on a mainstream level. Kanye
Mm-hmm.
is mainstream. He cannot
Yeah.
talk that level of truth on that level.
No.
With that type of
Especially.
audience, with that type of potential demographics that he has access to, that amount of people he has access to, he cannot be talking like that.
No,
Why?
and plus
Look, go ahead.
they're gonna take that. They're gonna be very offended by that because they feel we're the ones that put you in a position that where you're at financially.
And guess what? Kanye really doubled down on the fact that that's what he really wants. He don't want them to have control over him financially. He was like applauding, and he made it appear like to me like he's saying it like he's purposely sabotaging himself, which it only looks like sabotage from materialistic, superficial ass Negroes.
Mm-hmm.
It only looked like self-sabotage to them. But at the end of the day, when he's
freeing himself.
he became a billionaire because of his mind. He became a billionaire because of his mind. So he's like me in my mindset as being a hustler, as being a boss, a minded person, right? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
the money don't make me. I makes the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I can lose a billion, but I'm a strategist. I'm a businessman. I got business acumen so well that I can make that billion in no time.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But this is what Negroes who insecure about their position right now. They're looking at everything. Everybody has to always look at things from the misconstrued perception of themselves. And it's misconstrued. The key word is misconstrued. You're not even reflecting on yourself enough to even know what you're even dealing with and what you're going through at the time. Go ahead, brother.
Well, a lot of people like Charles Barkley and a few others, I hear they were calling them ignorant, but that was just the ultimate Uncle Tom suck up.
Yeah, he's ignorant, but y'all are motherfucking kiss asses. Y'all are motherfucking sellouts. Y'all
They they love
bitches.
sucking those billionaires' dicks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They gotta act right. They gotta act right with in front of those billionaires.
Right, but it goes right back to what was instilled in us as so-called black people in this society. Like, stay in your place. We was telling each other that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The
Yep.
European didn't have to say it no more. We was telling my mom. I mean, people's moms always tell them, "No, don't go in here with these white folks and embarrassing me."
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? With this,
Mm-hmm.
basically perpetuating the inferiority complex that has already been instilled in us. We already think we're inferior. So you're going to instill it in the next generation and compound it. Like, this is what we're doing to each other, though.
Yeah,
But
we're
then
doing their job for them.
we're doing it for them. And then
Yeah.
there was a big debate. There was a big like when Kanye come out and say stuff like slavery was a choice. Oh shit, he's talking against us now, and he's listen. All of y'all who said that Kanye is talking against so-called black people by saying slavery was a choice, y'all are disrespecting your ancestors who fought, who made the choice to fight instead
Mm-hmm.
of be complacent and allow these motherfuckers to put us into a servitude condition, homie. You're
Yeah.
disrespecting those ancestors, and
Mm-hmm.
those really the ancestors that we really need to be uplifting.
Yes, exactly. The Gullahs. Yeah,
The Seminole,
the
the
Seminoles.
Gullah, the Seminoles, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Yes.
Maroons, all these brothers that basically created armies. They gathered
Mm-hmm.
up brothers and said, "Fuck that, we." Then they locked down the South. They locked down the South that pertained to anything south of the Mississippi, bro. They locked that down. They had that
They made
locked down.
they made slavery very unprofitable. They made it very, very unprofitable.
See, but when you think about this, right? When you think about basically connecting the dots to the history time periods, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it makes you think about what was the Civil War actually really about. Hmm? That it makes you question it now. Like, of course, of course, they told us where the southern country, I mean, southern states wanted to succeed from the Union, and it was a fight over slavery and shit, right? Which,
Mm-hmm.
of course, it was the fight over that commodity, that natural resources that was funding not only the South but the North too. So they're trying to make it appear, but we so gullible that we keep the lie alive in our minds, bro. We keep the
Yeah.
lie alive. We definitely keep the lie alive because we're perpetual. They told us it in compound data in their indoctrination system, and we go back. We don't go back and do the research and correct that false narrative. We're not correcting that false narrative in our heads. And
And,
it's
and,
like we
and then
forget so easily. We let the criminals and corrupt people just get away with murder because they can do that. Like in our mindset, the elites they can get away with murder. Like they
mm-hmm.
can start wars and kill like all of those wars. Do you know that there are people who ordered those wars are right now wanted for wars against crimes against humanity. Obama is wanted for crimes against humanity right now. Y'all know that, right?
Bush. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Obama and
He's
Bush.
wanted. If he go to certain countries, bro, he can't go to certain countries right now because he's wanted for crimes against humanity for what he did when he was sending them drones.
Yep.
Homie, that was
Yep.
against that was a crime. That was a war crime, bro. They was
Yep.
committing war crimes.
They were killing families, babies, mothers, fathers. I mean, those man. Obama was notorious with those drones.
Obama
He was
didn't give a fuck. Obama
no.
didn't give a fuck. He was colder than all of they ass, nigga.
Mhm.
That Obama was a cold motherfucker, boy. And
Yep.
he's still playing off of the so-called charisma and everything that he supposedly got. Now he old and shit. But he's still playing off that charisma like that. Like we just that gullible though. We are though.
He trying to put on the persona that the government is almighty and we should bow down to the government and obey and listen to everything they have to say and give up all our rights and be their bitch.
But when a brother is doing that, right? This is
Yeah.
you gotta understand. A brother doing that is a different level of the game, bro. Him so-called being the so-called first black president, right?
Mm-hmm.
It affects the psyche, man. When he does shit like he did the whole presidency, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it also reveals a psychosis that our people are suffering from. Because, like I said, Obama has to be one of the most wickedest presidents that there ever was. But the most people in our community totally ignored that because he was the so-called first black president. They
Yeah,
ignored that he did some of
he.
the most wickedest shit in his presidency than any other president, and we ignore that because he was the first so-called black president.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows you that's all politics. It ain't about the truth. It's about what's politically viable at the moment.
Shit, man, I met Mexicans that loved Obama.
Man, listen, the world was celebrating when Obama went in office, man. The
Yep.
whole world celebrated that day. The
Yep.
whole world celebrated that day,
Yep.
right?
And
Why?
and
Because
soon.
why? Because the whole world know that we supposed to be on the throne, so that was some symbolic. See, the thing about it is, let's go into the spiritual symbolism of what happened when Obama was in office, right?
Yeah.
That was the period of time they got dethroned. Basically, the Yakub experiment was over that day. But they had to control who was put. Because we was literally put back in the throne. Let me connect the dots from the spirit world to the so-called physical world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, this knowledge of recovering more sovereignty, this knowledge of restoring to restore all of those ancient agreements that are still in play today. That
Mm-hmm.
knowledge just came on around the same period of time. So I'm showing you
Okay.
the synchronicity. I'm showing you the synchronicity and how the spirit world is playing its part and giving us, you know what I'm saying, to change the trajectory of where we could go, or we possibly could go. But this shit is still open. It's still multi-dimensional. It's still multi-potentiality. But there's certain things, the key things that are put that boosts that potential of us going in that evolutionary position, right? So, like I said, around that same time, the knowledge of how to resume those diplomatic relationships through treaties and ancient treaties when we were the superior power. Now, mind you, with all these treaties, they got something called the whole nations, right? The ones who everyone is submitting to. That was Morocco. All of the European nations submitted to the conditions that Morocco laid down in those treaties. All of those treaties were written in Arabic originally. Now, my thing is, most people were here saying and act like those all different cultures. Look, let me tell you something, y'all. Only one culture on the planet.
What was that?
Only one
Oh.
culture on the planet. On
Oh,
this one.
they're fucking with the audio.
All we
The
have,
audio.
all is the audio get, and all we looking at is derivatives of the same thing. You're looking at derivatives of the same shit, bro.
Sure.
Right? The brother Abdullah Bay wrote a whole book on it. Right? I forgot the name of the book. It's called the compasses were, and I'm gonna bring it this time. I'm gonna bring it. As a matter of fact, let me look it up right now. Because the brother, I gotta promote this book right here because he connected all of the cultures based on the ancient science that all of them are utilizing. Because all of these different cultures, all y'all doing is utilizing ancient principles, and y'all taking pieces of it and creating y'all culture and y'all civilization. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then y'all try to make it seem like, oh, it's a distinct It's a distinct culture. It's distinct to us. No, no, no. Y'all just regurgitating some old shit and trying to make it seem like y'all doing something new, like y'all doing
They're
something that's
learning
distinct
from
to you.
they're learning from their parents.
Right, right, right. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, but
However,
yeah,
they
man.
don't respect us. They don't respect us as their parents.
I mean, no, I disagree. I disagree.
You
I
disagree?
think,
Okay.
yeah, I disagree that they don't respect us as their parents, right? We
Hmm.
are not acting in the we're not behaving as their parents, so they can't respect it.
Okay.
It's
Well,
just
all
like
right. Yeah.
if you got children, if they see you acting irresponsible and they look at that as, damn, you irresponsible. You ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's like, and most of, in our community, it's like we raise our kids like do as I say, not as I do type of mentality. That shit'll never work. They're gonna build resentment against your ass when they get old. So
Well, in this case, they got mentally ill parents.
yes, they do.
And they kind of like disengage themselves from us. It's like having a mentally ill parent that, and you just like kind of embarrassed of them.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's how they are. But see, we're mentally ill because we've been here so long, and we're going through this transmutation from out of
we
one
mentally
paradigm.
ill.
Hmm?
Go
We're
ahead.
going through the 1111s.
Also,
We're doing.
we mentally ill and psychologically, emotionally ill because we're doing everything that's reverse our nature, bro.
Mhm.
We're not operating under our true nature. That's why. This is why we're crazy. We're going to be crazy adopting and amalgamating to someone's ways, some that foreign to us, totally foreign to us. Their way is totally foreign to us, man. Let's be honest.
Their way
So
fits into this
once we
little
start
circle.
doing it, go ahead.
Their way fits inside of this circle. Okay, this is as far as they can go. Is this circle, and they packed us in here with them, and we're outside of the circle. We have a quantum. We have a quantum reality, and they have a physical reality,
Right.
a
As long as
material
they
reality.
convinced us, as long as they convince us to be superficial, materialistic like them, and not recognize our multidimensional aspect, they subjugate us in that respect. They
And,
subjugate
and
us. That's how they subjugate us. They've convinced us of their reality. The reality they live in. They convinced us of. So now we're operating based on their mind. They just replaced our original mind with their artificial mind, and now we're operating under that automaton operation, bro.
and we're creating reality under that.
Yep. Yep.
We're creating
Yep.
a reality based off of that, and by doing so, it's uh, it's a gross reality.
Right.
It's a very gross reality.
Yeah.
But we have the power to change that now. Now that the more that we know, the more that we can grow. We can, I mean, the more that we already know, the more that we become aware of what we really truly are and what we already know by re re um, reiterating our ancient knowledge, our ancient science that's already shit indwelled in our DNA. We find the electromagnetic shock to bring that out, and we can start, living as that. And as we live as that, we'll manifest that. We'll manifest through that. and we'll start begin manifesting the things that we're supposed to manifest, and no longer manifest the things that they want us to, that they need us to manifest.
Right. See, but that's one of the main threats to their establishment is us realizing what you just said. That's the main threat to their establishment is us waking up. That's why they so harsh on continuing to hold on to that control grid that they have, which is mental. It's all mental. This is what this whole Kyrie and this Kyrie shit is about. It's about mental castration. Mental castration, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, well, then we got to go about this in a whole nother way. Okay, again, we we don't really know, or we don't really recognize our real true power, what we really have in our hands here. We can control the whole entire universe. We can control the sun. We can make the sun give off fucking solar flares. We can cause storms, magnetic storms in the fucking atmosphere just with our emotions, with our feelings, with our higher thoughts.
Mm, right. For real
We
shit.
can cause major disturbance, major atmospheric disturbance that can shut this thing down.
And I think they really, really realize this. This is why, like I said, they have to continue to control our minds. Everything that's being done, like, and they got control of our minds because we're constantly engaged in their propaganda. We're constantly engaged. I know people that they all day, all night, they constantly keep their TV on.
Hmm. Yeah.
Constantly,
On
they don't turn off. Even when they leave, the TV's on.
yeah,
When they sleep, the TV on.
yeah. And what
They don't
is and
understand
what
how devastating that is to their psyche, man.
and what does the TV broadcast? Programs
Yes, all day.
all day, all night, 24/7. Programs, programs after programs,
Right.
programming. In the program that they got you hooked on is this third dimensional matrix, trapped
It,
in this third dimensional circle.
it's
Our prison.
materialism. It's materialism, like you saying. It's
Hmm.
super. It's being superficial and being really, really shallow. People. That's where they keep you at. They keep you being shallow, materialistic, and superficial. That's what they keep you at.
And the religion that they use behind that is called politics.
Right. So true. So true. But
Yep.
yeah, the people to me for they love their slavery. So once you try to convince them or aware them of their slavery, they're resentful to you for even trying to free them.
Well,
Like
yeah. Well,
how dare you try to free me? I'm comfortable and complacent with my slave master ruling over me and subjugating me. They
well,
perfectly fine, bro.
the only thing that'll make them change is that as we free ourselves, the more free we become through
Right,
our
because
own.
not right, because once they start seeing people be free and they like, damn, that look good over there.
Hmm. Yeah,
You
start
feel me?
flocking. Yeah. So we got to make it look good. We have to. So it's up to us now. We have to. Shit, we have to build a platform or a foundation that we can stand on and look good. I mean, and grow off and grow from. And shit, and they see that they'll come running. They'll come running to that because they're gonna want that over what they have.
Right.
But yeah, and once
Really
they
do.
get sick and tired of being sick and tired of the old shit, they won't give a fuck about whatever sacrifice they have to make to to make the change that needs to be made. Because once you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you don't give a fuck about the sacrifice you got to make. No.
Yeah. I think that's where this society is at the point. It's in this breaking point. Like, it's only so much propping up it can take at this point where it looks obvious that it's motherfucking collapsing and shit. So
The only thing that's holding it up right now is just miracles. It's motherfuckers like maybe you or me or whoever that needs this thing to hold up a little bit longer in order for us to get to where we got to be to be into the right position where we need to be before this thing just collapse or by the time it collapses.
I'm already where I need to be because it's really, to me, emotionally and psychologically being where you need to be when this shit collapses. Because anything other than that is like, you know what I'm saying? Still
Well,
stuck in material shit, right?
yeah.
Like
Well,
so yeah,
well,
that's go ahead.
well. When I, in this case, material, you want to be in a position where you got your fortress built. You remember we used to have
Right,
fortresses, castles. You want you want
right.
you want
That no, that you're right. I agree wholeheartedly what you're saying, right? But we
yeah.
can't we can't leave out the aspect of the fact that we are talking about two aspects of something that's going on in a multidimensional existence. We're multidimensional, so we're not only building on a materialistic level, but we're
We're
building
building
on a
on
spiritual and
spiritual.
immaterial and an immaterial level. You know what I'm saying? This is what people
Oh
don't
hell
realize. Maybe you
yeah.
got you got you got operative masonry and you got speculative masonry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of
Mm-hmm.
them are masonry. Both of them are
Mm-hmm.
masonry. Both of them has to do with building.
Yep. Inner construct and outer construct.
So
Yeah.
they're not at odds. What I'm saying is we are operating under the sense of things are at odds with each other that are really not at odds with each other,
Oh no, it's
right?
yin and yang.
There
Yeah.
is really you are at odds with yourself, and you got to bring that within harmony. You got to bring that within balance. This is why I have an affinity. I have a real affinity with Ma'at, right? Because Ma'at actually represents justice, and I have an
Mm-hmm.
affinity with justice. I have an
Mm-hmm.
affinity with justice where it's like fair doings, being mutual with people, not
Mm-hmm.
uh, not taking advantage, and you know what I'm saying. I've always been that person. I've had an affinity with that energy and shit. So
Yeah.
that is the judgment day that's coming too. That's the judgment, the balance. Everything is out
Mm-hmm.
balance. So once something that's out balance, the process of bringing things back into balance is devastating sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
So
things are so far out of balance to bring them back. Yeah, it's
not
gonna
gonna be
shake the
pretty.
earth.
It's not gonna be
No, it's
pretty,
not gonna
y'all.
be pretty.
Not
No.
gonna be.
And that's where what you just say, the internal construct, the spiritual construct, you better have your spiritual house built too, your spiritual self built, because there's a good chance you're gonna lose your physical self here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's inevitable.
But that's why it's so important that we realize that we are multidimensional. This is why we say what we say on this program. But once you
Mhm.
realize you're multidimensional, you are not you're not operating under the Western world idea of your existence.
Oh no. Uh-uh. No, which is very
You know what I'm
limited.
saying? Bro, yeah, I mean you got to advance. We look at this world as this society as being advanced when it's far from it. It's far from advanced. This is not
Yeah,
advancement. We ain't not advanced.
you cut the lights off in this society and you'll see how advanced it is.
Listen, the fossil fuel, the fossil fuel that this whole society is run off of, that shit is
Uh-huh.
not gonna last, motherfucker. That shit is already we already in the surplus of that of the oil that we had in surplus right now, right? So what
Well,
y'all
no,
think gonna
right now.
happen?
Oh no, no, there's a lot of it. There no, there's a lot of oil. A lot. A whole lot. We're not gonna run out of oil anytime soon. No, but it's the
Well, that's
process
a
of
debate. That's a
refining.
debate. You don't say you said that with confidence, and that's up for debate. That's up for debate,
Okay,
brother. All day.
they have a lot of tankers. They got so many oil tankers out there that they had to park. They
Well,
had to
stop.
park.
No, no, that could be propaganda, bro. I'm trying to tell you, it's up for debate. Stop saying it with so much definitively. Like that's true. That's not audible. You that's up for debate all damn day. Because from my research, they are reaching the ceiling on the amount of oil that they actually have. But of course, they can't give in to the fact that the whole shit's gonna collapse. Because why? Look, the thing about it, why were they so desperate on this whole new green plan, right?
Hmm.
But then they went 360. They did a 360 all of a sudden now. All of a sudden now, right? We
Hmm.
going back to fossil fuel dependency now. You see that shit? You see they
Because
did
we
a
don't.
360, homie.
Yeah, because we don't have the infrastructure for it, and you're
They
gonna
they
need.
never had the intention. That was all fluff, man. We got to
Yeah.
realize when they just bluffing us, man.
Oh well, okay, I agree with you on that one because they have to be because in order you need fossil fuel to run the fucking generators to generate the goddamn electricity.
Unless y'all fucking let in that y'all got access to free energy, motherfuckers, and y'all not gonna do that no time soon.
Oh hell to the fuck no! They might run some free energy underground in they hideouts, maybe.
Yeah, they utilizing that shit right now, bro. They utilizing free energy right now. Stop it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They just ain't gave it access to us because this is a part of how to keep the control is to keep that economic deprivation going on, that economic desperation going on. Like how much would free energy relieve us economically? How much would it relieve us economically, bro?
Free energy would change everything
Change the
because
whole dynamics. Nothing will be the same.
nothing.
They cannot do like of course if they control it, if it's driven by corporate greed, then that's the deal. This is the deal with this shit, man. Is the politics and globalization have become a monster. It's a monster again. And guess what? That shit we have allowed humanity has allowed the corporate globalized monster to become way more politically powerful than the people.
Yeah, yeah, it's more important. We allowed it to be more important than us.
Yes. And they talking about the matrix and the robots taking over. They've already the constructs, the mental constructs. We're invaded. We've been invaded by these mental constructs, right? Which are
Hmm.
principalities, which are literally principalities in higher places. What they were talking about in the Bible. We don't fight for physical beings. We fight things for things on unseen world and principalities or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, these are constructs that's haunting us to this day. To this day,
And
because of
so,
errors in our thinking, and we're perpetuating those errors to this day, is where this led us to this deprivation point that we in today.
in the unseen world, in the spirit world, what is our greatest, besides, along with the mind, what is our greatest um, power? Our power to defend ourselves, or to create, or to do whatever we need to get done, whatever we need done.
Well, um, because on the spirit world is the abundance and access of whatever that potential that you just mentioned could be. Like, you know what I'm saying? It could be whatever you want it to be from a spirit world perspective. Like, because this is where reality is created. So you create reality, and you just basically on that level, and we're getting to a level where whatever we're creating on that level is going to manifest instantaneously on this level. So
Well,
be careful. Y'all have to be very careful of what you're. This is why you self mastery is a must to move forward in the future. Because
okay,
whatever we're thinking now is going to manifest tenfold, and it's going to manifest instantaneously now. So
okay.
it's a must that we take control of that right there.
Well, my answer to the question I asked is the Kundalini fire.
That's based in that creative mind that I'm talking about, though.
But that is
That
our greatest.
creating reality. That's that. See, because that energy is literally based in that creation, that creative energy, that primal energy. That I'm saying. So you can create anything with that energy.
And you can defend yourself spiritually with that energy. Yeah, I mean,
Nothing,
take a look at Dragon
nothing.
Ball Z.
Listen, when you reach the level of realization, bro, there's nothing that's going to come against you at that level. I mean, once you really, because all you do is reclaim all of these yourself on the throne. You on the throne, bro. You the one on the throne on every multi-dimensional level of yourself, right? So
Yeah,
anything
to be
that's
on the
coming back
throne,
against you,
to be on the throne, you got to have the power. You got to have the energy. You got to have you got to bring it. And the starting point to bringing it is the Kundalini. I mean, you look at all comic book characters, Dragon Ball Z. That's all pure Kundalini energy, dude. That's pure Kundalini.
I hear you. You always act like you're countering what I say though, but whatever. We said the same thing, but
Yeah. Okay. All right.
you
We
said
just
the
have.
same thing I just said, but whatever. If you want to
No,
feel like you countering me, go ahead. Keep on. Go ahead. Do
I'm
you?
not countering it. No, I'm not countering it. I guess
No,
I'm
no. But
complimenting.
what I'm saying is that energy. I understand that energy itself is literally our our power. We can wield it as we see fit. So that's what I mean by the creative power. Like we gonna like what you just said. Like bring the power. Like we got the power already. We don't got to bring it from nowhere. We don't. All we gotta do is manifest it, cultivate it within you.
Yeah, well,
Every,
that's
every, every, every god, every superhero, every character with superpowers. That's a representation of your energy. That energy that's within you. It's inherently inside of you too. You are inherent to it. It's an inherent. It's a birthright, bro. Because
hmm
because we are direct descendants of the primal mother. We
Yeah.
are direct descendants.
Hmm. So we have direct access to that whole construct of energy.
Right.
We can pull
So
from that.
we are the Elohims of the Bible, right?
Hmm.
We represent the Elohims, right?
Yeah.
And we also represent all of the lower demiurges, demigods. They all represent an aspect of our energy, man.
Hmm.
It's crazy because once I discovered that about that shit, it's like I'm hearing all of this stuff from an inferior position. Like most people talk and they say, "Oh, you are just a subject of this higher power." And no, 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 no. You're not a subject of. I mean, if you think you are, you are.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
If you think
You
you are, you
think
are.
it's
Okay,
controlling
I
you?
can't argue with you if you think you are. So let me
Yeah.
get that straight first. I'm not arguing
Yeah.
with you. If you think you are beneath the higher power, well, Lord, so go ahead, be my guest. But what I'm
Yeah.
telling
It's
you
whatever
is,
you think.
what I'm telling you is, you are not subordinate to nothing on no level of existence. I'm gonna just be real.
I
They
agree with you
actually
on that.
they
I,
actually support they actually subordinate to you. Really.
yeah. Yeah. You're right about that. We're the divine spark. The divine spark didn't come from this universe. It's beyond this. It's the highest thing in this universe. It's what brings perfection to this imperfection.
Right. So
It's
this is why I like the Tiamat story, man. The whole Sumerian, because they
hmm
break that shit down. Break basically that we are the divine spark. We are what was the primal energies or the primal whatever was here before there was a universe.
yeah.
Before there
That's
was a universe, before there was
hmm
existence, before there was
yeah.
creation, before all of that,
Yeah.
there were the primal gods that
hmm
ruled over the universe before the formless universe. It was formless. It wasn't even had no form yet. It wasn't even thought of. That's what I'm
But
talking
it
about.
was. But it still was in some kind of way
Right.
because there was a
We
great
got to
war.
understand. We got to understand the layers of the multidimensional. Things can be developed on one level, but it haven't manifest on another level yet.
Hmm.
It hasn't fully. It haven't fully came into fruition, but it already exists. For example, let me give y'all a perfect example. Everything you see right now once existed in somebody's head first.
Hmm.
Everything you see right now, it was an image in somebody's head at first. It wasn't just somebody just it just instantaneously emerged and it created itself. No, everything you see right now was in somebody's head until they came up with a formula. They came up with some uh, uh, schematics to build their prototype. And then from that
Okay.
prototype, they developed it, they developed it, they developed it. Now you got the so-called technologically advanced civilization we have today. So-called. Notice how you keyword so-called, man. This is technologically advanced. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Hmm.
but they're leading you to believe that we're just so advanced in the ancient world. Well, guess what? The ancient world was 100 times more advanced than we are today.
Yeah. I mean, the places where they carved cities out of stone on mountains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Laser,
The-
laser, laser precision that they can't duplicate with their so-called technology. Their so-called laser precision technology that they have today, they can't duplicate. If y'all so advanced, why if y'all so technologically advanced, why can't y'all duplicate any of the seven wonders of the world, like the pyramids? Why y'all can't? Why y'all haven't figured that out yet? Huh?
Yeah, why? Yeah, why we don't have three of those in the middle of the United States?
Exactly. Even Freemasonry, y'all only have access to 33rd and 1/3 degree. That's it. And that's damn near below freezing. You damn near freezing. That's the only that's just, like this is why their feds look. Let me give y'all some signs right here. You see that feds right there? You see how
Yeah,
my feds go 100, the torso on my feds
360.
go 360 degrees of ground round, right? This
Mm-hmm.
is my birth. This is our birthright. This is why I told you to get a feds, bro, because they know what it is. They know what it is. This is my birthright right here. This is my birthright that
360
I
degrees.
already got 360 degrees, even really 720 degrees of knowledge already in my genetic makeup already. It's already
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah.
It's already
No,
there. You know what I'm saying?
360 degrees and plus the point in the middle.
Right. See, that represents like since the feds literally represents a womb. It represents a womb. The mother, the great mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we came out of there. That's the umbilical cord right there. That's the umbilical cord, the center, right? This
Yeah,
is
the
where we
center of
center
the fez is
ourselves,
the womb. The center
right?
of
This
the
is what,
fez is the womb, right?
yes, but guess what? This is where we control. This is where we control the Markaba, the spiritual technology that you are. You control it by centering yourself. Why do you see all these great spiritual leaders like Buddha, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Buddha, and you will see even so-called Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
all they all would have that yoni, that Shakti accompanying them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The Shakti. What is the Shakti? The Shakti is that oval shape in the back of when you see that picture of Jesus and he got that like oval shape in the back of him and shit, right? Or he got him on the top of his head. On when he got that little circle on top of his head, that's the what's called the Shakti,
Okay.
right? That's called the
Yeah.
Shakti, meaning that's the feminine energy present while he is moving about because he's channeling it and he is necessary for the operations, his spiritual operations. So even the Buddha had it. If you look at the Buddha pictures always had him when he was, especially when he in a meditation, he had a big ass circle in the back, oval in the back.
Okay.
Right? Nobody paid attention to that shit, but that shit, that symbolism is all over China or all over the Eastern world too. But you got that
Okay.
oval in the back, right? That's called the Shakti, bro. That's the
Mm.
Shakti. That means the presence of the primal mother always is present. The omnipresence of the primal mother,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because which is necessary in all magical endeavors. That's where you're pulling from.
Oh
That that
yeah.
that 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 for magical endeavors, you need to have access to that primal energy.
In
Which
the tree of life, that would be the spear of Bana.
the who?
Spear called Bana.
The spirit called Bana?
The spear Bana, which is on the is the feminine side of the supernal triad. You have Kether, Hakma, and then Bana. Bana
Okay.
is the supernal mother, and that's the spear where you to get for magic, intelligence, and understanding. That's the spear you pull from.
Right.
Yeah, and the planet that represents that spear is Saturn.
Well, that's crazy because Saturn, right,
Hmm.
is also associated with Venus. right? And it's also energetically associated with the what they call it, the morning star.
Yeah,
Morning
Lucifer.
star.
Yeah, Lucifer. The rise. Yeah, the morning star.
Right. And we basically venerate its rising, and they venerate its fall. They celebrate around the fall of Venus. We celebrate in the rise of Venus. Well, that is not. I don't think because I think I mean for my research, Venus is um if I make correct me if I'm wrong. It's Venus and what's the other star? What's that other star that people Sirius,
Serious. Okay.
right? Is
Hmm.
Venus and Sirius connected to each other in some type of way?
Not that I'm aware of. I think at this point we can pull energy from all heavenly bodies out there now.
Oh yeah, that's what they presented themselves. It's a gathering. It's called a great gathering happening right now, where
Well,
all of these
those
energies.
yeah, those heavenly bodies are entities, are living
Oh yeah,
entities.
that's why I'm saying they're energetically aligning themselves with our energy at this point. So it's like they're assisting us in this evolutionary process we're going through.
Well, I think those heavenly bodies are aspects of our higher selves,
Yeah, I agree.
and those heavenly bodies can be, it's so crazy. A star. I can imagine a star projecting itself into the form of a human being.
Right.
I mean, as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without, as without, so within.
Right. All that.
All that. Yeah, we got the power now. We got the energy, man. Bobby Hemmett was trying to tell us that shit back in the late 90s and early 2000s. We just don't know it. But now we kind of know it.
I mean, at the end of the day, they've kept us prisoners in our own minds for the longest, and now we're free in our. When they talk about free your mind, they
Yeah.
was talking about you were locked up inside of yourself right now. All of us now, people more, they're locked up inside of themselves right now,
Hmm.
right? They're what happened is colonization is not just a physical thing. This is what y'all don't realize. They
It's
colonize
mental.
your mind. Once they
Yeah.
colonize your mind, now they're occupying your mind.
And then they can use your mind as an apparatus to manifest the reality that they see fit through you, through us.
It's the only way. This is the only way they're keeping up this corrupt as system, bro. It's the only way. Is because they keep us locked up, locked in our lower vibrational desires, so that
Hmm.
we can't connect the dots beyond lower desires, man. That's real. We
And those,
sensationalize, and everything is based on fulfilling lower self desires. And period. That's it.
yeah, and while you in that mindset, what's real? Nothing. The person next to you, they're not real.
But I think
That
that's coming full circle right now because people are realizing that world was fake and they're fake now, and I got to reevaluate my existence and shit. Like people are doing it's happening on a big scale. That to me is one
Mhm.
of the reckoning that's happening because people are waking up,
Yep. Yeah.
and that's gonna bring about the reckoning. Not my thing is it appears to me that the European community or the modern European people community, they are ready to take actions, and they have been taking up actions. A lot of them, right? They have
Yeah.
divest from their white privilege. A lot of them, they have divested from their white privilege, and now they're basically speaking up because I think at the end of the day, they know they're going to be judged too. So it's like a lot of them. It's like, and even in their intent, they still probably just worried about themselves, but they don't even realize that they're the deeper cause why they're doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think people have to actually be aware that at that level of what we talking about, but they're gonna have the urge, you know what I'm saying, to move in a certain way, and they ain't gonna understand why do I have the urge to go this and do this, and why am I having the is that that's what's happening because they too stubborn to come to it on their own at this point. They like, nah, I'm comfortable with my delusions of grandeur to myself.
Well, all of that's going to be changing soon because you see, it's not going to happen with this sun that we have up there now. It's going to be a new sun from coming through here. When that new sun comes through here, because we have more than one sun, but I think there's going to be a
Remember,
certain. Hmm?
remember the pictures that they saw? They showed the sun, and it was another massive object right next to it.
Yep.
That
Hmm.
if it was, it had to be able to match the temperature of the sun, or it's basically the sun is
As
too
it's
close to
as
it
mass.
for the sun not to affect it and burn it. Like it has to be itself a massive sun in order for it to be that close.
No, what they call it is a stellar core. The stellar core is the inner core of a sun, a burnt out sun, or a star, or a burnt out planet.
A stellar core.
Yeah, a stellar core. And these things are very, very massive. They got a lot of mass. Whatever this thing is, that's coming by the sun. Okay, the sun is going through what is called a grand solar maximum, which means we're going through a grand solar maximum within. So
Mm,
all these solar flares coming off, that means we're giving off solar flares.
right,
As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. As without, so within.
right. Because all
Yeah,
those heavenly bodies are a reflection of something that's going on inside of us.
that's within
That's,
us.
you're right.
And now we have consciously and spiritually and mentally, and down here with the fire, the kundalini, we combine all these three elements together. You have generator, operator, destroyer, God. Now we can control the fucking heavenlies. And by controlling the heavenlies, we can take total control of reality, completely change the entire dimension.
I think we already had it, but we have to break down the constructs in our head, and that's what gives us access to that power that we already had. As long as we are breaking down what we've been convinced of, right? When we break it down in our own heads, we gain more access. It's like an inhibitor to our superpowers. The construct of what they've convinced us of is like an inhibitor. So once you just break all that down in your head, you're gonna gain
Well, that's
more
where the
access to
Kundalini
your power.
comes in. That's where the Kundalini comes in. The destroyer,
Oh yeah,
generator,
that because
operator, destroyer.
yeah, because
Kundalini is
that
the
literally
destroyer.
right. That's like that. You're right. That Phoenix fire. That's that Phoenix fire that rises from the ashes, right? And
That's
the
Christ coming
ashes
out of hell. That's
exactly.
Christ. Yeah, rising from out of hell, come to the heart, and then that's on earth. And then, well, I think at that point the heart represents the earth. He rises back, and then from 40 days, and after 40 days and 40 nights, he ascended
Right,
to the
right, right.
throne.
But that
To
also, like I said, it correlates with the Phoenix mythology because when the Phoenix basically rises, it scorches everything in it cinders everything in its path. It's the same
okay,
principle. It's the same principle.
same principle. Yeah, just told. We should be
In
saying
a
this.
different
Yeah,
mythology. It's a
yeah,
different mythology.
yeah,
But
yeah. All right.
that's another example how it's all one culture. It
Mm-hmm.
just people are having different characteristics. They have their different versions. They did, you know what I'm saying? It's just a derivative of the same shit, though.
Yeah, yeah. We all can't be sick. we're segmented. I mean, fragmented.
Yeah, it is
Different.
fragmented like crazy. And
Yeah.
the key is once people start connecting the dots and start pinning these fragments together,
Mm-hmm.
that's countering the society. The society start collapsing once you start gathering all these fragments together and start pulling them together.
Mm-hmm. Building a new
you're
fabric.
you're inherently destroying their society. So they can't allow you to connect the dots at that level.
Oh, well, that's too bad because that's something that's supposed to happen. It's on time. And something should be occurring in the heavenlies real soon that's going to completely change this entire paradigm and completely change everybody
Right.
because it's happening in here already and it's going to be manifested out there.
Right.
And this is just the final days of this. These are the final days of this. Something cosmically is going to change everything. So it's going to be the sun. It's going to be these other things around the sun. As long as these other things are there, that these other things around the sun during this grand solar maximum, which will
Mhm.
last 11 years, now that you have these other objects, that grand solar maximum is going to continue on in the grand solar minimum,
Right.
which means
I
this.
wanted to highlight what this brother Yazid was talking about. He said, uh,
Uh-huh.
referring to Obama, he signed the Rights of Indigenous Rights bill. And okay, I guess you're saying that because of what we said about Obama being the most wickedest president that we ever had, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I, every wicked president has done things that will be seemingly looked at as positive, right? So that doesn't
Yeah.
take away, that doesn't clean his
No,
slate right there, bro. That does not
no,
slate.
no. That's
Sorry,
that's called politics. That's called politics.
that's
That's how
exactly what
politics work.
politics, right? Yep,
That's how
yep,
politics work. Yeah. I
right.
mean,
They do. Right, you're right. Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, like how Newsom. I mean, the governor of California just sent us all these checks, this stimulus money. That don't mean I'll go vote for the motherfucker. That don't
Right.
mean I'm gonna take. He bought me. I mean, these guys. Yeah, it's you can't believe these politicians, man. They're
Man,
not
they're
they're not
manipulating. They're manipulators. They're hypocrites. They're straight up liars. Period.
they're, and the government, they're saying, The stronger the government gets, the bigger the government gets, the more our freedom goes, the more our wealth goes, the more our rights go, and the more control they have.
And the thing about it is this whole C-19 thing, man, is all dismantling at the same time with all this other stuff. This is why they got all these other distractions because recently all of these companies and along with the so-called well, I mean with the United States along with the United States government are being
Hmm.
sued are being sued for promoting a so-called a so-called pandemic that may that may not have been true, and they're being sued for this right now, bro. It's a big court case where these people are being sued for basically creating a false panic. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah,
Creating a false pandemic.
yeah, a whole
You know what I'm
false
saying?
construct, a whole false, a whole.
Allegedly. Let me finish, let me say allegedly, okay? Because it's
Okay,
alleged. It's allegedly. They created a
alleged.
false. Yeah, you gotta say that now because these motherfuckers will try to censor you and shit.
Yeah, well, based on the experience that we all had here, it was like we all had a gun pointed at our head.
Exactly. We were being
And
held hostage. We
we
were
were
literally
being,
being held hostage.
yeah. And and if anyone died, whatever the fuck they died from, they could just say that's another casualty of COVID.
But guess what? The thing about it is, multiple people, and it's up for debate that most of the people who did die
Hmm.
literally died because of the policies that the hospitals adopted because of the COVID. Like people
That too.
who normally had doctor visits that are sickly. These people were casualties. People who were going to therapy, people who were going to regular visits because they basically changed the whole structure of the hospital at the time where people couldn't just readily go to the hospital like that or rarely go to their normal clinic like their doctor or rarely because they changed the policies up. A lot of people died because of that alone.
Yeah, it was like it was they did an experiment on us.
Right.
This was a military. This was a military act, man.
Right. Yep.
It was a
It was.
military experiment. It had to be a military ops.
Yes, it was. Definitely was. It definitely was, brother. You were right on the damn nail.
Hmm. Yeah.
You hit it right on the nail. That's exactly what that freaking was. Right,
Hmm.
exactly what it was. And they really the thing about it is they did it just like, for example, we was talking about this the other day, how it's so obvious what happened on 9/11, but they're still perpetuating the lie, the official story that was told
Hmm.
about 9/11, right? Which
Hmm.
they made it illegal to publicly go against the official story. They said if you say anything to the point where people got silenced because around the time people already knew the truth, but they had to suppress it. They had to send the CIA goons in to to
Hmm.
to muddy the water with their counterintelligence and shit, right? Because people had already connected the dots. They to the point where a lot of those victims' families actually sued the federal government, and they're still it's so this shit is it's so much that's about to come into fucking fruition right now, bro. It's crazy. It's
Mm.
because we about the right time when those lawsuits are about to come into fruition too. Oh my
Mm.
God, so much shit, man.
Yeah.
It's about to be the grand finale, bro.
Yeah.
The grand finale gonna be hella. That shit gonna be, man. The grand finale, bro.
Well,
I think we're reaching the grand finale, man.
well, oh man. All I know is next year, first, second quarter, it takes a whole year for rate hikes to catch up. So don't from zero to it's going to be 4% by next year.
Mhm.
When those 400 basis points in 1 year catches up to the economy next year,
Mhm.
that's never happened. We never had that seen that many rate hikes in 1 year ever. And
Right.
it takes a year for this shit to catch up. When this shit catches up next year, man, it's oh dude, it's gonna be like coming down the hill at 180 miles an hour and then hitting a not a brick wall, but an iron wall. You coming to a
Right.
you come to a complete stop. Okay. No,
The maximum construction too.
you're not gonna stop. You're just gonna shatter into many pieces.
Yeah. Right.
But you're not going beyond that wall though.
Right.
So I
Well,
think I think all of this, them doing that, and I think when all these other things come out, it's probably going to come out at the same time these rate hikes kick in and everything goes to hell. It'll come out at a time where people might not even really be able to.
but
Uh,
just imagine how many things. I think we got a troll on here right now. Have a good time.
oh,
Find your love. Oh my God. And if you don't get
no,
your trolling ass off our shit, talking about find love, fuck out of here.
yeah, really. They don't even know what love really is. Shit, love is
Yeah.
extraterrestrial. Don't even come from this motherfucking realm.
What's gonna happen, right? Is they're not gonna be able to divert from everything that's hitting us because this shit about to converge in one, like I said, grand finale in a
Hmm.
minute. This is
Hmm.
about to converge and be like, bah, like it's going.
Yeah,
Ooh, this shit about to be. And this is how we inevitably know it's the collapse of this shit because you got
yeah,
so many different factors that's leading to that. There's so many
yeah.
different factors that lead to the collapse. They're not just. It's not just economic, homie. This shit is. Oh my
Oh,
God! It's so much shit.
oh,
So much shit. So much shit.
no, that's just one little byproduct.
It's so
That's
much
just a
shit, bro.
byproduct. There's a whole
Right.
lot of shit. Like you said, if you haven't been building up your internal construct, then the other side, you haven't been building your spiritual house, and all you've been caring
Right.
about is the physical house. Ooh, when the wind blows that away, you're gonna have nothing.
Exactly. Right. Because all that shit is no substance there. They got
No,
y'all so infatuated with things that are not even substances. It's not
real.
substance. What's
They
really
can be here today
substance
and
is
gone tomorrow.
what's really substance here, what's really real here is your own self development within your own realization of yourself. That's the only thing that's real. Everything
Oh,
else is just an illusion, a diversion.
yeah, or it can just be a learning tool, or you can just use it as a learning tool and experience, just to have some type of meaning down here while you're here. But the main thing is to man know thyself. From within.
Yeah, we got to end the show, man. I got to get ready for my next show. I'm getting ready right now, as you can see. But
Yeah.
man, so you always have a good conversation, man.
Yeah.
Cause
Thanks,
I
Yasir,
mean,
for your support.
huh?
I was thanking Yasir for his support.
Oh yeah, no, all the time. That brother's the only one that really comes in and come through every time. So we
Yeah.
got to give that
Well,
brother props and shit.
yeah, we
You
gotta
know what
give
I'm
him
saying?
his. Yes.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to give me props, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
I got to get ready for this next show. So get your last words in, brother.
Well, again, like I said, something cosmically is about to happen. Something from the cosmic is getting ready to go down, and it's going to affect everything. Everything is getting ready to change. Everything. I can feel this.
Which is beautiful, which is it should be embraced. Whatever's
Oh,
coming should be embraced. It's not nothing so that we should be resistant to. It's something we should embrace, man. And that's my
yeah,
last
it's
word.
something.
So
Great. Yeah, I mean, all of this is about to end. It's about to change. Get ready. Hold on, Dorothy. Kansas is about to go bye bye.
bye bye. Good
Bye bye, Kansas.
riddance. All right,
Yep.
we see y'all next weekend. We see you next weekend, man. All right, brother. Good
Yep.
looking.
Next weekend. Uh huh.
We out.
Out.